I hope that in 2030, Denmark is a much, much greener Denmark. But also a much, much more democratic Denmark. The individual citizens have taken their own democratic authority to themselves. I am the one who can influence my own life and the country I live in. So, a much larger democratic and political engagement with a much, much greener and hopeful Denmark.
First and foremost, I hope that we have taken some steps towards creating a more equal society, where more people have better opportunities, solidarity, cohesion, and unity, taking care of each other. So we don't live in a competitive society where it's only about who runs fastest, and where people just look over their shoulder to see those who are left behind. But rather that we become better at including everyone. An equal and solidary society.
In 2030, I hope that Denmark in many ways resembles itself, because I think there are many things we do really well. I hope that most Danes have a sense of being part of society and being included, and that they also experience that there are opportunities for them. And we have broken the social inequalities. So it's not the same 10% of the population that keep losing again and again and again. And I hope that we are the country that shows the world that you can make a green transition that both benefits the quality of life for our citizens and ensures that we are not dependent on other countries' oil and gas. And that it creates a lot of new jobs, because that will really be the thing that can convince the rest of the world that this green transition is possible.
I hope that we still have a welfare society, that it has been strengthened, and that we maintain the security present in today's society. The certainty that things will never go completely wrong. I acknowledge to a great extent that there are people in society who have a difficult time. But knowing that it can't go as wrong for us in Denmark as it does in 99% of the world's other countries if one gets sick or if something else goes wrong.
I hope that we have a strong sense of community. We love our country, but of course we should love each other, meaning that we have achieved a better togetherness than we have now. Because right now we're fighting to say who loves Denmark the most. But we scold each other so much that the love for our homeland is overshadowed by hatred, or at least dissatisfaction with each other. And I hope that will decrease by 2030.
I hope that by 2030, we have undergone a complete transformation to the green transition. I mean, if we don't take action and truly accelerate the green transition, then almost everything else doesn't really matter. So, I hope that the green consciousness has become a part of our everyday life in a completely different way than today.
My dream society in the year 2030 is one where many more Danes take a greater degree of responsibility for themselves and for their own lives. We should still have a strong welfare state, but it should be targeted at those who are most socially vulnerable. I wish that we will do a lot more in 2030 to help people with addiction, socially vulnerable homeless people, and children who don't have good conditions in life. We should help them to a much higher degree than we do today. To a greater extent, we should let the rest of the Danes take responsibility for their own lives. This means paying a bit less in taxes, but taking a bigger responsibility for one's own life.
I wish for Denmark that it is a safe, happy, and joyful country. It is really my wish that Denmark is a country where you like to be, You feel a pride in being Danish and living in Denmark. You want to see the world. That you are absolutely interested in many other continents, but that, that this is where you belong.